What woman is the right woman to marry? Stay tuned. All right, today we're going to be talking about what woman is the right woman to marry. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because I watch a lot of other dating coaches and red pill coaches live streams. And when I'm in their live streams, I always come across people that are asking the same question. What woman is the right woman to marry? We know all this red pill information, but I still want to get married and have kids. So what should I look for out of a woman? All right, today we're going to break down the myth of marriage, and then I'm going to go into the qualities that I feel a woman should have. Not just a woman, but we're going to start off with a person in general. But first, let's break down the myth of marriage that a lot of you guys are seeking. First, thinking marriage would make you happy. You have to understand, just because you get married does not mean that you're going to be happy. And what leads you to believe this is because you're not understanding the concept that most people that are married are acting when you see them in public. They're acting at church. They're acting at the family gathering. They're acting at the friend's house when everyone comes together. Most men that are married are happy when another man comes by, so he has someone to bond with, so he doesn't have to deal with the troubles of a woman. A woman will always change her friends up because they love drama and they love complexity. So when a man gets married, he's actually isolated from reality because he's forced to try to go along with her reality, which causes him to be miserable. Next, thinking that your spouse would be everything that you need. It's not going to work like that. Most men fall in love with infatuation. They fall in love with what a woman is and what they think that she could become. She's not going to be everything you need. You're going to be everything that she needs. You have to think in the mindset that you will be doing more compromising than anything because she's not in it to make sure that you're happy. Next, thinking that getting married and having kids is going to bring you closer. It's not going to work that way. The more kids you have, the more stress you're going to be out. The more you get away from your dreams and happiness, the more you have to find it in other places. So you're going to be saying, I love my kids, man. If it wasn't for my kids, I would have been left. If it wasn't for my kids, I would have been left. You're right. When you get married, you are going to love your kids more than you're going to love the woman, because the woman throughout the marriage is going to show you that she's nothing that you should be loving. She's just going to be adding on more stress, more mood swings, and everything that comes with it. It really turns into a mental headache. But having kids with a woman that you're probably going to end up not loving anymore, it's going to drive you crazy. Next, thinking that when you meet the right one, there'll be no doubts about it. You have to understand, when you think that you've met the right one, you're just infatuated with her. That's all that is. Love is nothing but an extended infatuation of a person. As long as you still desire for that person, then you're going to love them. 9 times out of 10, husbands that love their wife a lot don't get enough sex. Period. Women know how to keep the desirement in a relationship by rationing off the sex. That keeps a man interested. But you take the man that's having sex every day, he's typically not the guy that's going to love his wife truly. He'll typically end up finding a side chick because the sex will get old. So you have to understand, when it comes to your spouse, she's not going to be all that you need. It's not going to be end all tell all with her. It is a job that you have to compromise to. Next, thinking that you won't be lonely. Being married in a relationship is going to make you lonelier than ever, because you're going to find yourself compromising to everyone else and you barely have time to be to yourself. There's a reason why guys have man caves, so they can get somewhere and hide. But nowadays, it's hard for a man to have a man cave because women desire and need so much attention from a man, from a husband, and from a boyfriend that is constantly catering to her and less paying attention to yourself. Okay, now let's go into the qualifications of a woman that I feel you should be with. But you have to understand this. Remove the word love. Remove the word marriage before you start talking about this. We're going to first talk about qualities of a woman that she should have without even looking at her. The first quality, she has to be intellectually challenged, which means that she has to be able to keep up with modern day society. She has to understand the agendas and believe in the agendas just as much as you do. It's hard to find a woman that can spot out the agendas because the agendas are constantly working in her favor. So to find a woman that can actually point out the truth and say, you know what? This guy is right about life, and allow you to take the lead because she agrees with you consciously, is going to be hard because we are battling spirits between man and a woman who's more dominant than the other. Next, trying to find a woman that carries herself with class. All right? We're not talking looks and we're not talking anything else. We're talking just a woman with class. It's not that many women that are attractive enough to walk around with class. Most women that are attractive are trying their hardest to get attention. Wearing tight clothes, jeans, thotty movement, boss lady movement. Every girl nowadays is pushing herself to the limits to get attention over the next girl. So trying to find a woman with class is already not even working is working against you, because you're gonna need a woman with class in order for you to respect her. A lot of husbands that have married a thotty thinking that they can change the thotty is now walking around with shame because he has a woman that makes him look less. You gotta realize your woman's gonna be a representation of you. Let's say you drive a Ferrari, live in a big house, but you're married to a thotty. Guess what? Nobody cares about your luxury anymore. So you have to understand this. She has to have class in order to represent you, in order to keep you from looking bad of a person. Next, finding a woman that's going to be brutally honest with you. You have to understand, you have to have a woman that would agree and disagree with you. You have to have a woman that's going to be able to tell you your faults and what's wrong with you. At the same time, keep a good personality. That's going to be really hard to find out of a woman because most of these women are delusional. They don't know how to tell a man the truth until like you get midway in the marriage and then she's getting tired of the relationship. Women are only honest in a relationship at the end of the relationship. Trying to find a woman that's going to be brutally honest and genuine at the beginning of the relationship is hard because a woman is always adjusting her mindset so the situation works in her favor so she feels better. Most women do not start off with telling the truth. Their whole entire scheme is full of lies in order for her to get what she wants. Next, finding a woman that's going to compromise to you or compromise to a situation. That's going to be hard. Most women nowadays are not doing any compromising unless it involves money. So trying to find a woman that's willing to compromise is really like trying to find a needle in a haystack. There are women out there that are built like that are willing to compromise, that are willing to do this, but they're only willing to do it to certain guys. So you have to upgrade yourself so that woman that's willing to compromise, she puts herself in front of you and you're able to read it. But that's probably 1 out of every million. Next, a woman that's understanding. That goes with compromise. Not too many women are understanding. Remember, they're inside of a delusional world. They think that they know it all. They think that you're supposed to shut up and follow them. Not too many women want to follow the man. Even girls that I deal with, when they start acting like a know-it-all and then they turn out to be wrong, I send them home for the day. Nah, go home. I only want to look at you. Women are know-it-alls that know nothing. So trying to find one that's understanding to you, it's not going to work. That's going to come over time. In a lot of cases, you got to let a woman fall flat before she starts listening to anyone. Next, consistent personalities. You cannot be with a woman who's moody in the morning, moody at night, moody during the day. You have to pay attention to consistent personalities. Which girls nowadays are the same person every time you see them? That's going to be hard to do. In a lot of cases, women are the same person the first couple of times you see them. By the time you get around to that third person, by the time you get around to that third altercation, they start doing things you wouldn't even expect them to do. They start saying things that you would not expect them to say. So you have to find consistency in personalities. How many women can actually keep the same personality over and over and over again? So when you start looking at a woman, start studying. How often do she change into this evil person? How often do she has mood swings? Consistency in her personality is very important, and that's going to be very hard for you to find. Last but not least, she shares the same values as you. Trying to find women who do not want to use their body for attention to have morals in their life, it's going to be hard. You still got a few foreign women out there that's following that ideology, but majority of American women, they have to use their body. They have to use their makeup. They have to use their hair. They have to use everything that's going to make them moralless in order to get attention. Women are not realizing that men are becoming desensitized to a woman's look. So what they're doing for attention is not even working anymore. But that's the thing about a woman. They went so moralless, they don't even know how to have morals, because the life that we live in now, moralless have became day-to-day life. Moralless has become good. Moralless has become the norm. Having more rules has outcasted you from society. Now, what's the perfect woman? This is going to change from man to man. These are the qualities that I think that you need to eliminate looks and pay attention to as a person first. Start paying attention to who she is as a person before you start jumping into marriage and jumping into love. Eliminate the word love. Remember, love is just a person that's going to accept the negativity of somebody else. But a lot of you guys are still under this agenda that you're going to meet the right one. Let me tell you something. If you don't find a dream, you ain't going to find the right one. Women are only going to attach to somebody moving forward. They do not stop, attach, and build. They tag along to someone that's already headed somewhere. That's what's going to make her compromise. So a lot of you guys asking the question, what's the right woman to marry? You got to upgrade yourself. If not, get your lotion and log into the computer. Hasta la vista.